shit at this.
No,
Oh,
you're
God.
not. You're good. You're good.
Hello, hello, hello. Hello, Cola Green. Can everybody hear us? Put a 1 in the chat if you can hear us. I've got a new microphone. It changes colours. Hi, everybody. Can you hear us okay? Somebody put a 1 in the chat.
Yay, we got a 1.
Yay, lots of 1s, probably just a bit of slow stream. So I hope everybody's okay. We seem to have quite a few people. I've been struggling tonight. I've been almost in tears with this bloody StreamYard. So there's only one problem. I can post photos, but I can't see them on the screen. So you'll have to let me know if they're there. Okay. Right. So we've got Kat tonight with us again.
Hello, everyone. And can I just say, I love your microphone. It's so groovy.
Can you actually see it? I can't see it on the screen. It like changes colour. It's amazing.
It's far out, man.
So I just wanted to say, oh, there's Doug. Hi, Dougie. I'll send you the link. I just wanted to say thank you to all my amazing subscribers. Thank you for all the support. Kat, just go through what we're not going to be dealing with tonight, just really quickly.
Yeah, just so there's some drama going on with other channels and mods on other channels, and just to say that we don't really need it in here. So if anyone's got any issues, contact Emma privately or talk about it between yourselves, but don't bring it into the chat. Thank you.
Yeah, good job. We're just not going to deal with any drama. I know there's been some stuff going on, and we're not going to be removing wrenches or any of that stuff. We just you know, just can't be bothered with all that business. Too much going on. Right.
Absolutely. Back to the reason why we're here.
Yeah. So the reason why we're here tonight is because we are going to talk about Summer Wells, Dawn, Candace, everything else that's been going on, and eventually we're going to get to Angel Nicole Overstreet. Right. I'm posting the link in the chat for you, Doug, if you want to come up. Yeah, so we're going to discuss Angel. Tomorrow we've got another live, and we're going to be talking to Mary Chris, Maya Millet's sister. So we're going to have her up here. It is going to be 5 a.m. in the morning in the UK, but where you are, I think it's around about 9 o'clock or something around that time. So it might be good for a lot of you. So I just want to say thank you really quickly before we get into it to all my members. We've got Julie, Steffi, JT, Salty, Jill, Cato, Carolina, Laurie, Dougie, Scooby, Catherine, Randall, Angie, One Hot Mama, Natasha, Peter, Unsolved, Karen, Stacey, Jenny, Jennifer, Donna, Christina, Ganja, Beagle, Joanne O, Natasha, Jack or Jackie, Paula, Compute, Lisa, Molly Go Lightly, AB, and Cameron. So that's everybody. I just wanted to say thank
that's
you.
quite a fan club.
There's a lot, yeah. We have quite a good amount. So where's Doug? I haven't
Doug's
seen
not
him
coming up, Emma.
here.
Emma. Doug's not coming up. He said in the chat that he can't come up tonight, but he'll be on with you tomorrow for Maya Millette.
Oh yeah, no probs. So where do we start? Okay. I often think to myself, why do people want to listen to me? And then I just laugh and think, well, they're all still here. So, you know, we're doing something right.
Absolutely.
So I've got so much to go through. And to be honest with you, I don't even know where to start. So, Dawn, let's see what I've got written down here. I hope everybody's okay anyway. Okay, so what have I got here? Don was saying that himself and Candace passed the polygraph tests. I think we've already covered this at some point, or somebody has. But when you listen to the interview that he did with Chris McDonough, he stated that both had been found to have 2 to 3 substances in their blood. Oh no, I think it was Chris M that said they had 2 to 3 substances, we won't mention them, in their blood system at that point. But yet he's saying that they passed the polygraph test. And when you ask Chris McDonough whether they passed or not, he just doesn't really want to answer that question, which makes me feel that it either came back inconclusive or they failed it. Although they're going around telling everybody that they passed. Oh, thank you, Slink. That's really nice. I can't see my screen. Oh, it's Sonia. Thank you, Sonia. That's really kind of you. Thank you. I can't see the screen. I can only see the messages, so I've got to catch it quick. If I miss anything, Kat, let me know.
I will. Yeah, I'm good.
So that's what it kind of made me think. Oh, are they lying? You know, are they lying? But that doesn't look good with the police, because surely they're looking at them and thinking, what are you on about? You know, if they came back inconclusive or they failed, and then he's going on the news telling everybody that they passed, it just doesn't look right. It doesn't look good for them. It just makes them out to be even more of a liar, you know?
I guess they know the results of the polygraph test as well, because they keep telling us the results of the polygraph test that they passed. But then if the police know that they didn't pass, then they're going around telling everyone that they did. It's the same kind of thing with the drugs test.
Yeah. But it just
only the police know.
Yeah. It just.
But yeah, they yeah. Go on. Sorry.
No, go on.
I was just going to say, because they've just been since the beginning going around telling everybody that they passed the drugs test, they passed the polygraph test, but we don't know. We only know what they've told us. So I dread to think what it's like in the sheriff's office right now, because they must be tracking everything that they're doing on YouTube, and
their file must be like that.
Yeah, right. Absolutely.
You know, because surely the amount of oh, there's the boyfriend. So hi Bullis, I'll be down soon.
Hey Bullis, behave.
What's this? Doug says no piss test or polygraph test passed. No, I don't think there was either.
No.
And then in one interview he did, he said that Candace had weed in her system. Didn't mention the other items that she had in her system as well, that we were told that they had in the system. And apparently it's true that they did have 3 substances in the system, like each or something, and it wasn't just weed. So why didn't he mention all those? They're like trying to make himself look good all the time. And when he said that as well, it was like, oh, Candace had it in her system.
Yeah.
Well, you had something in your system as well, but you didn't mention that, did you? Like you only mentioned that she had something in her system. It's like throwing her under the bus.
Yeah, every single time.
What about him? What about him? He doesn't want ridiculous, does he?
It's really interesting because did you see that like 10-second YouTube video that was uploaded by Don onto the Don Wells family YouTube page? And he was the only one speaking, and you could just tell he's in his element. Any time that he's the center of attention like that, he just loves it. So any excuse to throw Candace under the bus.
The Don Wells fan club.
Family. Yeah, right.
I've got a photo for you here. Tell me if it's on the screen. I've pressed on it. Can you see it?
I can see. Yeah, I can see it now. Yeah. This is Don in his element.
So right I don't know if you missed it, guys, but very early this morning, well, early in the UK, I'm guessing it was late last night, Don decided he was going to start his own YouTube channel. I mean, it just beggars belief, really, doesn't it? But anyway, he started his own YouTube channel, and he uploaded this video, which lasted about 4 seconds, which was completely pointless. But of course, I clicked on it anyway, just because I happened to be up early. Looked at it, thought, "Oh yeah, that's good. I'll screen record it, and then it was gone. And
Good
everybody
job
was
you
like,
did.
I know. Everybody was like, what? Well, what did he? Didn't he? I heard he opened a YouTube channel. Well, I didn't have time to upload it onto here, so I can't show you it now, but it is in my collection from earlier on. I think it was one of the last videos I made. So if you want to go see what he put, it's literally this picture that you can see on the screen. And he's basically saying, hi, everybody. This is mine and my family, or mine and Candace, my family YouTube channel. And I'm thinking to myself, I know this sounds awful, but you haven't got a family.
Exactly.
What family?
Yeah.
Your family have gone.
They listed it under YouTube Kids as well, which would have meant that they couldn't have got any comments on their videos if they'd have kept that channel up. And also that it would never have been suitable for kids. Nothing they post is ever going to be suitable for kids. Come on. Come on.
Well,
we've all seen him on the toilet.
I'm feeling a little bit high. Yeah, sat on the toilet.
Yeah, on YouTube Kids. Wow.
Oh God, let's just get rid of that. I can't cope with that any longer. Looking at that face.
But Candace didn't look like she was a willing participant in that at all. She sat there like she didn't even look at the camera. She didn't look up. She just looked like she looks in that photo for the whole 4 seconds.
Yeah, and I've got it written down here somewhere because I've got like 16 pages of A4. But what I've written down somewhere is, why would you do that to your wife?
Yeah, right.
You know, and now, don't get me wrong, I'm not sticking up for Candace one bit. To be honest with you, she's my main focus right now. And I think if there's anybody out there that's got anything to do with Summer missing, I think she's your main target. Yeah. Honestly, I really do. That is my honest opinion, but we'll get to that later and I'll tell you why. I've got some screenshots of some messages that I've found between Candace and somebody that messaged her. So I'll show you those in a bit. Okay. But yeah, you wouldn't do that to your wife, making her look like a dickhead, basically. You're just making her look ridiculous. Completely ridiculous.
He does it all the time. He does it every single time he gets a chance. It's a really passive-aggressive, narcissistic kind of way of being, isn't it? It's just kind of like, look at me, I'm Don Wells. This is my new YouTube channel. My wife doesn't want to be here, but you know what? Suck it up.
Yeah, and you're right. And but do you remember when he was doing that? Do you know, I recorded it earlier on, but I've not had time to upload it. Been traveling trouble with this computer. I did get Doug to try and help me, but he didn't call me, so it's Doug's fault.
Doug. You let your wife down.
Oh, right. No, he did try and help me, but it was through messages, and I was trying to do what he was saying, but I couldn't work it out. Anyway, never mind, moving on. So yeah, you just wouldn't do that. You wouldn't do that to your wife, you know. And it's like when he did that the toilet video, and just before he went to the toilet, he walked past Candace, and did you notice he like grabbed her arm and like just let it flop, just like let it flop next to her to prove that she was like off her face, basically.
He throws her under the bus every single opportunity he gets.
And
it's like his life's work or something.
And he's like doing that with her arm, and then he dropped it. And then before that, he got the camera and he was like going up and down with the camera as if to say, I'm going to show you, I'm not going to show you, you know, that kind of playing. And it was just, what are you doing? And you could see Benny's face looking as if to say, what the actual F? Like, is she okay? You know, because he was probably thinking the same as all of us.
I think it's a little bit exploitative as well. I mean, I don't feel sorry for Candace in any way, shape or form. I have no sympathy for the woman, but she is living under his word, his control, his power. And
his money.
Even by this, exactly. And by this, what he was doing earlier was just more further proof of that. It's like, look at me, look at my wife. She's going to sit silently there while I talk. You know, it's a power trip for him.
Yeah, it's like he's constantly trying to divert the attention.
Yeah, onto himself.
Away. from them, whether he's trying to divert it away from himself. Having said that, I think he likes the attention on himself.
He
to some
diverts the
degree.
attention onto himself by making himself out to be the victim, by making himself out to be the provider, by making himself out to be the one that's looking for Summer, in inverted commas. You know, every single time he brings the focus back to himself. It's never about Summer, and it's certainly never about Candace.
No, it's not. So I've got another picture for you here. Can you see this one?
I can see that one. Do you remember Kathy Burke, her character in Harry Enfield?
Yeah. I don't think the Americans would have heard of that. But
yeah, no, that's true. Sorry, bit of an English reference there, but that's just who Candace reminds me of. Wynetta Slob, I think her name was.
Wynetta Slob.
That was her name.
I used to love that program.
Yeah.
Our English viewers will know what we mean.
Yeah, they will.
So I've got some information on this lady here. Okay. So I've got this from listening to Zav Girl, because she was on the other day, and I don't know if you watched it, but this lady just came up out of the blue, and she apparently knew the family. I don't know if she was a friend or a relative. I didn't catch that bit. I think she was a friend, but she seemed to know the family very well. Anyway, there's a bit of information here. So apparently Candace was born in Texas. She had a heart defect when she was born. And so they moved to Wisconsin in order for her to get treatment. Now, when the children, so there was 3 of them, because I've had a lot of people saying, why do you keep mentioning Jeannie? Candace, Jeannie, and Rosie, or Candace, Jeannie, and Rose, were 3 sisters. And it just so happens that Candace has a sister called Jeannie, and Dawn has a sister called Jeannie. Nothing to do with each other, 2 separate families. It just so happens that, like, there's 2 Jeannies. Okay, just for people that have been asking me a lot. So when the kids were teenagers, apparently Grandis ran off with a woman.
Right.
She decided to choose love over her children, didn't pay any child support, and Candace was like, I think she was about 12. So the dad, Kenneth James Bly, took the girls on. Obviously, he raised them. Rosie was the youngest, so she was closest to her dad. But apparently Candace was not close to any of her family, really. She wasn't close to her mum. Her mum disappeared. She wasn't close to her dad. She really wasn't close to anyone. I'm just going to get the comments up so I can. And so she just abandoned them for whatever reason. She could have had love, and she could have had love and children, but she obviously just wanted to spend her time with this woman.
I think that was difficult. It would have been really difficult at that point, though, because homosexuality, for want of a better word, whether it be female or male, would not have been accepted in those times. And for someone to leave their children for another woman is quite a big step to take, to abandon your children to go off with a woman. You know, I don't think at any point that would have been in any way acceptable in society, or even now you can't imagine someone abandoning their children at all, especially a woman. But in that day and age, it would have just been completely unheard of for a woman to abandon her children and go off with another woman, I think.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, the woman, especially years ago, before, a lot of women had to go out and work, and we needed 2 wages to support a family. The mother was really expected to kind of be the one that was at home with the family. And
that would have hit them all really hard, I think.
Well, apparently Candace was not close to her father. She obviously wasn't close to her mother. And according to this woman, she really just wasn't close to anyone. And she was just very much a loner. And she craved attention, which is quite sad. And this woman was saying that she felt that that was the reason why they kind of went towards these men, the older men, trying to, you know, like start a relationship with these older men, like these father figures.
Well, she had her first child when she was 19, didn't she? So she would have presumably have left home before that. I wonder how close she really was with Rose.
Well, apparently the sisters were not close at all.
Right. Because she doesn't seem that close to her now. Even when people talk about her, she never, I mean, she hasn't got any real emotion in her at all. But she hasn't got emotional about Rose or spoken about her unless she's been really pushed to speak about her. So I just wondered how close they were when they were growing up.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, apparently they weren't doing well at, you know, kind of being friends and looking after each other, looking out for each other, like brothers and sisters, sisters should. Now apparently Candace was in like she was in kind of some sort of special classes at school. She wasn't classed as very academic. And she got on meth at a very young age, and actually when she was pregnant, apparently she was on it at that time, from what I've been told. Now the other thing I needed to mention is apparently Grandis is not allowed to see any of her grandchildren over in Wisconsin or wherever they are.
The ones that were the older two children, do you mean the daughter Candace and the son Andrew? Is that the children that Grandis is not allowed to see?
Yeah, she's not allowed to see them. I think she's not allowed to see Jeannie's children. I think there's a few that she's not allowed to see. Apparently, I think there was quite a high number when she said it. I can't remember exactly. I think it was 6 that she's not allowed to see. But this woman didn't want to say the reason why. Now, she did say that it wasn't a physical thing, but left us wondering, you know, like, what was it?
Yeah.
So Candace was pregnant when she was 19. She had these 2 kids, as we know, abandoned them or gave them up to CPS, whatever. Met Don and was in Arkansas with him, had her first child. Apparently Grandis had to get Candace off the substance, which took some time. And apparently when she told me, she said it was really hard.
Yeah. Well, I guess that Grandis wouldn't have been the first person that Candace would have turned to with a meth problem, you know, as a first resort, because she'd abandoned her when she was a child. So it probably was really tough.
Yeah. Honestly,
as well, I don't
it's
think
just like another world, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think that Grandis has got the capacity to look after herself, let alone look after any of her grandchildren. You know, I don't think that any of them, I don't mean this to sound nasty, and I'm not going to throw words around, but I don't think any of them are the full ticket, if you get my meaning. I don't think any of them have got their complete wits about them. So
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. We don't mean to sound nasty. We're just, you know, looking at all the facts and trying to work out what happened.
Yeah.
But apparently Grandis used to go into a shop where Candace's first daughter, also named Candace, God, it gets confusing, doesn't it? So Candace Bly had a child called Candace.
Yeah.
And she didn't live with her mum. She was in CPS, foster homes, whatever. And when she got older, she got a job in a store. And Grandis, grandma of this Candace, used to go in and apparently like harass her, and she got into some trouble for it. She's going where she worked and harass her.
Wow.
And so whether she was just trying to get her to just looking at this comment here, did Grandis abandon Candace and Rose? Yes, she abandoned all 3 and ran off with a woman. Yeah, Jeannie. So there was Candace, Jeannie, and Rose. Yeah. And so she used to go into this shop and harass this girl. Now, whether she meant it in a good way and she was just trying to say, look, we want to be part of your life, and this girl just had distanced herself, she didn't want to know, whether that was the reason why she was saying to the people she worked that, please just get her to leave me alone. I mean, that can still be classed as harassing, even though she wasn't being nasty, but you don't know, she might have been nasty. I mean, we're just going on what we've been told. Maybe she just wanted to distance herself from everybody, and just didn't want to be part of that. She didn't grow up with them, and if anything, all she's heard is bad stuff. My mum abandoned me, they were on drugs. You can imagine, can't you, what she's heard over the years. And if she's been brought up in a fairly decent family, you would just not want to be part of it, would you?
I mean, she doesn't know them from Adam. She doesn't know Candace, her mother. She doesn't know Candy, her grandmother. She doesn't know them because they were taken away and taken into care. Well, I think Candace, the junior, the younger girl, was taken into care when she was 6 months old, 18 months old. To suddenly have this family that you know nothing about descending on the shop where you work, I mean, that it's not okay. Like, she's in the foster care system for a reason. She's not there because she wanted to be. I can totally see why that's tough for the young girl Candace.
Yeah, exactly. You just wouldn't want to be part of it,
absolutely
would you?
not. No way.
And I mean, I looked at her Facebook page a while ago, and there were a few posts regarding, how do you put it, not wanting to be here anymore, wanting to end it, and that kind of thing, to do with supporting charities for that, and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, geez, it's been a circus. Yeah, it has been a circus.
Yeah, but who are the clowns? Who are the clowns in this circus? They, something to do with Don and Candace, the clowns.
And apparently that Warren, Grandis's brother, there isn't any of them that haven't got an issue. Like, every single person in this family is just like, it's just another world. But apparently Warren, you might have heard of him.
Yeah, I have heard of him.
He was in for incest against a juvenile relative, and we don't know which juvenile relative.
Yeah, he was in a institution, psychiatric type institution, for a lot of years for that. He's been recently released, I think.
Somebody's Val is saying, I'm struggling to read these comments tonight. Read it for me, Kat. Can you read that comment on the screen?
Also, at Crime Stories Obsessed, her daughter Candace was adopted, but then abused by the adoptive family and put into foster care, where she ran away. Yeah, that's.
She'd run away. You just don't know what these families are like, do you? You've no idea.
No, she was returned to the foster family, and from what we know, which is not a lot, she has a pretty good relationship now with the foster family. But
good. No.
There's a lot of problems when children in foster care, that they go into foster care because of the problems they experienced originally, and then they go into foster care and things can go wrong again. I mean, I think she has been in more than one foster home. I think it was the first foster home that she was abused in. The second foster home she went to is the one she ran away from, but they've returned her to there, and she seems a bit happier now. So that's the story as I know it.
Mountain Girl, I've put the link in the chat if you want to come up. Apparently also, Grandis was living in the trailer at 110 Ben Hill Road. Is that right?
Yeah.
With Chris Marcos, and everybody was like, Chris Marcos, who is he? Well, actually, he wasn't a boyfriend. He's not a brother. He's not a friend. He is a step nephew of Grandis.
Yeah, they were related in some way, weren't they?
In the same trailer? Like, how do you get undressed? Like,
right.
But apparently they were step nephews. So he was married to her her sister's daughter. Is that right? That makes sense, doesn't it?
Are you asking me? I haven't got a clue.
Something like that.
I knew they were related in some way. I wasn't sure if it was blood relation, but I knew they were related in some way, those two. Yeah, that's for definite. But yeah, it's creepy as.
It's just like every single person. So, and then at the time when Summer went missing, he was apparently seen in Wisconsin in the area working. So they don't think that he was involved.
Right. I didn't know that, actually.
I thought he was... If I go a bit quiet, it's just because I'm looking at some of these.
No, that's okay.
I'm looking at some of the comments.
Is that the guy that H mentioned when he did his interview with Chris McDonough, that there was a guy that was on the property that wanted to touch the little kids, and then Ali said he was grandma's boyfriend or something like that. He fancied grandma, but that was actually her step nephew. Is that the same guy?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Who's Brandy Nicole? I've got a Brandy. I think I've got a Brandy Nicole trying to come up. Oh, there we go. No, it's Mountain Girl. Just when pressing it, all I could see is... Where is she?
Not on the screen. You've still got Candace on the screen.
Wait a second. Are you there? Can you hear us?
Hey, Emma.
Hey, Mountain Girl.
Hey, how are you, ladies?
Yeah, we're good. How are you doing?
Doing good. This is so heartbreaking. I did not even know some of that information that you guys just mentioned about when she had the first child at 19.
Yeah.
Why can't I hear Mountain Girl?
Andrew was her first child.
Yes, it's just heartbreaking. And you almost wonder if she ever was able to, get the proper help that she needed, since there were, you guys said 19, she had the first child, and then drug use. So that's really sad.
Well, Andrew and Candace were taken away. I think Andrew was 2 years old. The reports are that he suffered some kind of terrible injury, but we don't know for definite what that injury was.
Right.
But he spent a lot of time in he's got brain damage, some kind of brain damage, and has spent a lot of time in institution. And Candace, the young Candace, was taken away. I think she was 6 months old and Andrew was 2 years old when they were removed from Candace Wells, Bly as she was then, custody.
Wow. And
then, it's really awful.
And then just the upbringing too, of the mother not being close. I mean, that sheds a whole nother light too, on a situation, because it sounds like, mentally she went through quite a lot growing up, and then, having children herself.
Yeah. She wasn't prepared for it. There was no role model for her. She couldn't turn around and be like her mum, because her mum disappeared with another woman when she was a child. She had no role models in her life, I don't think.
Right. No. Right. And we haven't heard anything as far as like her maternal grandmother, which would be Grandis's mother. Because I was just always wondering if she, was like ever raised by maybe her grandmother and then the mother possibly, but we've not heard that either.
No, I think she was raised by her father.
I reached out to the grandma I think she's called Pamela Hara. Is that right? But she just wouldn't reply to me, so.
Right.
Hi, Mountain Girl, anyway.
Hi, Emma. I think so many of the family members, though, and stuff, and I mean, I can't say personally that I wouldn't blame them, but I mean, the dynamics and stuff of this entire case with every single, person, this is by far one of the most craziest type of cases I think that I've ever quite seen.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, it just does
Absolutely.
not seem, it does. And what's really interesting, and I'm glad that you pointed this out with, with the whole like children's services. So children's services has kind of been involved in her life for many years with previous children.
Yeah, that's true.
And now we're seeing it, currently in this case with the other 4 children. And this is why I'm just really stumped on this, because, like I said, that was something that happened, years ago. So at what point, did she ever receive any kind of, counseling or any kind of help? And sadly, what I'm seeing in many of these cases that have to do with CPS is a lot of these cases are people who are on drugs, but yet what is being done about it? Like these counties and these jurisdictions, their solution is to just grab kids, take them away. But at what point are they establishing a facility or mandating for mental health to get help with, and better treatment facilities for the parents to go get clean and get off of drugs, but at the same time not risk losing their children? And we're not seeing that in, either of her cases.
No. And also the CPS waited 4 weeks to take her sons away.
Right.
After Summer went missing.
And this does not make sense because, okay, so I went back to the drawing table to day 1. And I re-listened and reread many of the statements of the news articles and such. And what I am also seeing in this case that does not add up is CPS waited, like you said, over a month to take the children. But if you guys recall correctly, in the beginning of this process, we had heard, I believe it was the mother, indicated that CPS had an open case on them that was ongoing. And somebody had mentioned that they were scheduled to remove all of the children the day that Summer had vanished. But for some reason, even after her vanishing, the boys were not immediately removed like we see in all these other cases taking place. And what I'm wondering also is there was another article that I actually did a video on where it states that Children's Services came to the home for I don't know how many days, but it sounded like kind of like came to the home to babysit during the time that Summer had vanished. And I'm confused on that because, I mean, is that a thing? Do they do that? I mean, why wouldn't they just like take the children?
I literally have no idea what happened. The woman has already had her two oldest children taken away by CPS when they were born. And she then goes on to have 4 more children, and they were reported to CPS on at least 7 occasions. And the CPS didn't turn up until a month after Summer went missing.
Well, no, they did. They were at the house, like after she had vanished. They came to like sit with the family and to kind of like babysit the boys because Dawn had in the news article, it states that Children's Services, they came running up to the house when they heard a scream. And I'm not sure, what had taken place, but this was all clearly after the fact of Summer disappearing. But yeah, Children's Services were at the home. I don't know if observing the children or interviewing them or what was taking place, but in my personal opinion, it sounded more like they were there just kind of babysitting throughout the daytime. But again, it's like if they were already planning to remove the children prior to Summer vanishing, then what changed to where?
Oh, I've lost.
I'm not getting internet.
Oh no, I've lost Mountain Girl. Emma?
Hello, Kat. Talk to me.
Hello, I'm here. I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh my God, what's going on?
We've lost Mountain Girl.
Disappeared?
You did.
Yeah, it kicked us out.
We've lost Mountain Girl.
She'll be back. It just completely kicked me out, and I was like, what's going on? Like, I don't know if I just lost internet.
How rude to kick the host out of the show. That's so rude.
Maybe they're trying to tell me something. Maybe
Can you change the picture on the screen? Because as attractive as Candace is, I really can't look at that picture anymore.
I thought I'd removed it ages ago.
The picture of Candace is still on the screen.
All right,
Hashtag
wait a minute.
Just saying.
I'm trying to add Mountain Girl back to the stream. So what were we saying?
So back to this children's service.
Hey, you're back. Welcome back.
So I'm not understanding how or what changed.
Nightmare.
Because children's services.
Oh my God, let's get rid of this picture of Candace. I thought I'd already got rid of it, to be honest.
So
I can hear Mountain Girl. I can hear Emma. Can everyone hear each other? Hello?
I can't hear Mountain Girl.
I'm here.
I can hear you too. You.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
Be on in a second. No, yeah, Mountain Girl, have you got a device on in the background?
No.
Okay. I'm going to mute while you're talking.
Page open?
I don't think so.
See,
let me check.
Just
okay, I just cleared everything out on mine.
That might
Sorry,
be
everyone. A few technical issues. We'll be back in a second. Hello. Do I need to sing?
Right, let's carry on.
Sorry.
Just trying to get rid of this photo. Yes, here's the songs.
Carry on, Mountain Girl. You were saying.
So I'm just curious as to why it's not been
Mountain Girl, tell us what you would finish off what you were saying.
What I am trying to figure out and understand here is why nobody has addressed or asked why the children were not removed right away. Yes.
Right. Oh, hello. We're all on the screen now.
Can you hear me, Emma?
We can hear you.
Right.
Okay.
Do you want to? Yes, it's just a bit echoey. You know, a bit like there's something else going on.
I have no idea, honey.
When you join, it's like there's something else. Is there somebody
Usually
else sat in the room with you with YouTube on?
No.
Everybody's saying bad echo. Oh my gosh.
Okay. Well, I did the CPS. Whoa, hello.
That's bad, isn't it? We're going to be deafening everybody.
I don't know if it helps if like.
Are you on speakerphone?
Yes.
Oh, okay. That might be a problem.
Yeah, somebody's saying you on speakerphone.
Okay.
Oh, is that better? That sounds better.
We need Mountain Girl to speak now. We need Mountain Girl to speak so we can.
Oh, wait. Is that better?
Loads better.
Yes.
Okay. Huh.
Cool. So back to CPS.
I need a handbook for dummies, like for how to do live.
Yeah, I think we will do today.
So back to CPS. My biggest question that nobody, I think, has asked or covered is how did it go from they were scheduled to remove all of the children the day Summer vanished to where immediately after she vanished, they came and babysat the kids at the home versus remove the kids? Why was it over a month later?
I didn't know that they'd come up to the home on the day. I didn't know that.
Well, it was a couple days after. It was in a newspaper article.
Right.
And Dawn was speaking about it also. But it's just very confusing.
I think I remember something at the time, someone saying something about it. They didn't feel it was the right time while they were while Summer was missing to take the boys at that point, but they still left it a month after.
Right.
It was still way too long considering the conditions in that house.
Well, in other cases that we've seen, in other missing person cases, they've immediately removed the children the day of.
And as well, she'd already had 2 children previously removed. Would that have not have been quite a big clue on as to their parenting abilities?
Yeah. I mean, without sounding rude in any way, I don't know how they've got them anyway with what all their criminal history and just, I mean, I don't know. Like, obviously, I don't work for CPS, so I don't know what it takes to have your children removed. And I don't know whether she gave up the first 2 or whether they were taken. But it just...
Well, typically what they will look for in a case is if they've had, if they get reports called in and people are complaining, then they typically reach out to, if it's during school session, which it would have been prior to her vanishing, they would have checked like school records and stuff and spoke to teachers as far as in regards of the other children to make sure that, they weren't missing school or, how their grades were, just, a number of things. And they would have obviously went to the home to check the condition. But again, we've not really heard anything. It's so tight-lipped, so we don't really know, what the heck really took place and happened. And that's what's so confusing. But I just know that these current cases, this is not happening. They are removing the children the day of these abductions. But in this case, they waited over a month, which makes no sense.
Yeah. No, that was too long. And somebody put in the chat, maybe it was out of compassion. And I can understand what they're saying, but having said that, if they've already been out before, they've already apparently documented that they weren't happy with the living situation, and they'd asked them all to, ask them all to like sort it out, sort the living situation out and everything. And they made arrangements to come again. And it's obvious that they'd come a few times from what we've heard. So, and then they found out one child had gone missing. You would have thought that would be like red flags at that point.
Well, and another red flag, in my personal opinion, is whenever she vanished, typically you're going to be freaking out as a parent. You're going to want to protect the other children and say, you are not leaving my sight. You certainly are not going to take off into the woods because somebody could still be out there who just kidnapped your sister. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but they let the bodies just run wild.
That just totally, that blew my head out of the water. I thought there's no way in HELL that I would be letting children go down into the woods when I didn't know who would be out there, possibly waiting to take them. You know what I mean? So that just seemed very alarming.
Right. At what point did they come back up the hill? Because according to Don, when he got home, that he went to the shed and the boys were down by the creek searching for Summer.
Yeah, and we haven't heard either. Like, did he, tell the children, like, hey, get in the car, we're driving back up to the house? Or did the kids, just run back up the woods by themselves? Because at a time like that, that would be a very traumatizing ordeal for the parent and children. So you would think that in my situation, I would probably not be able to drive a car and drive around and look. I would be on the phone with 911, protecting, whatever other child I had and waiting for law enforcement to come. I mean, I don't even think I could mentally drive a car. That would not be I don't know. I mean, and everybody thinks differently, but I just thought that was kind of odd.
Just got a message through, sorry. Yeah, I think they should have come in a lot sooner than they did, to be honest. I really do. I think I think they were too long taking the boys. They knew what was going on. They could see what was going on.
But what's really bothering me though lately is what we are seeing announced in almost every one of these missing kid cases that we are all following is one word. And the one word is CPS.
Yeah, there's been a massive undersight by CPS in this case for sure. I guess in this country, if when that kind of stuff has happened with the social services, they always have an inquiry afterwards, and it lasts about 10 years, and then they produce a report, and the person running the report says lessons must be learned, and lessons aren't learned.
Right.
But they spend billions of pounds on the inquiry into how the child ended up in that situation or whatever, the failings of social services, and nothing really changes.
Kat should be like a news reporter. I love how she talks.
Oh, thank you.
She's really good. Nice. She should have her own channel. Everybody asks me.
Yes. I always encourage all my subs. I encourage all my subs all the time. I say that, if you have a great, outlook on things and you have a passion and you're involved like this, you should create a channel, because the more voices out there, the better.
Yeah. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's really kind of you.
And I really think we'll promote you.
Yeah, definitely. And we've got quite a lot of subs. We'll promote you. Come on here or on anybody's. And there does seem to be a bit of an echo again. I can't quite work out where it's coming from.
I know. I have to figure this out. I'm going to have to hop off because I've got to figure this whole echo thing out and figure out my other computer and see if I can switch out, because I actually have another live at 7 that I had scheduled, and I didn't realize it's 6:54, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to go figure out how to talk on this thing.
Wow, you're in demand tonight, Mountain Girl.
I'm not used to this technology stuff on this part. I'm kind of clueless.
Well, I mean, I'm better writing things down than having a live and talking out loud.
Yes, that's totally me. Like, I love doing a 5-minute video, no problem. But doing these lives, like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing.
No, I don't either. So that echo is coming from your side because Kat's just muted herself. So I know it's not Kat.
It's probably my phone, but I'm gonna hang up and work on this thing and figure out what's going on with it.
I don't have anything else. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it is.
Okay. I think we're back to normal now, are we? Thank you for joining us, Mountain Girl. That was great.
Where did she go?
She's gone to her other live. She had to go.
It says
She's gone another live.
Your screen freezes every few seconds. Oh. Yeah, thank you, Mountain Girl. Thank you for coming up. We really appreciate you. So anybody that doesn't follow Mountain Girl, she's also covering the Summer Wells case and other cases, but mainly the Summer Wells case. So if you're not subscribed to Mountain Girl, just go across to her channel, and she does have some good content and makes some really good theories and statements. So she's a good one to go across and listen to. So what I wanted to talk about next was I was told in an email that Grandis was told to stay away from the property by the TBI.
Yeah, right.
And until there was either an arrest or some sort of outcome as to where Summer is. And so I contacted CM, Chris McDonough, because apparently this is where it's come from.
Oh, okay.
But I'm still waiting for some verification on that. He's not got back to me yet.
Okay. He's been a bit busy, Emma. He's been a bit busy.
Yeah.
Bless him.
Yeah. Well, he did oh, Ziggy's in. Hi, Ziggy.
Hi, Ziggy.
Oh, she's lovely. I was watching a couple of her episodes earlier on. If you don't follow Ziggy, go across and watch her. She's covering the Summer Wells case. She does quite a lot of lives, and she seems to know what she's doing with the stream. So that's a lot better. I need to ask her some questions. So yeah, so Grandis has been told to stay away from the property. Now, I couldn't work out why at first. She told me that she'd left due to depression, but it was right at the time, like we've said before, when Candace needed her the most. Now, what I think, and this is where I've come up with this, I think that there's some reason she's not allowed to see her other grandkids. There's something, and we don't know what it is, but this woman didn't want to say. She didn't want to say, and there must be something to that for her not to want to say the reason why she's not allowed to see her grandkids.
Yeah.
And I think nobody knew that there was a problem over while she was staying at Ben Hill Road in the camper until there was an incident with Summer and the police were involved. And at that point, they looked at all of their backgrounds and realized that Grandis probably shouldn't have been there with the children. Maybe? I mean,
maybe.
What do you think about that, Kat?
Yeah, I guess. I mean if there's a legal reason that she wasn't allowed to see the first two children, it's quite possible that she wasn't actually allowed to see any of her grandchildren, and yet she was living on the same property as them.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think she came along, with a camper. Nobody knew because that was over in Wisconsin. And as long as,
right.
The police are over where she is now, unless she does something wrong, nobody's going to look into her background and realize that she shouldn't be there.
Unless the incident, the domestic violence incident, might have brought that to light a little bit earlier on, perhaps.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if she was actually involved. I mean, I think she put in some complaint, but as far as I'm aware, the incident was about Don and what he'd done, and Candace put in the complaint in about Don. So I don't know whether they actually looked into her. I also think this, Mary, that is a really good point. I honestly think that she knows more. I think that she's told the TBI certain information because she was quite willing and open to talk to me when I was messaging her, and I've got like over 60 to 80 screenshots of messages between the two of us. It was a conversation, and she was very open with me. I mean, obviously she wasn't going to tell me everything, but I think she was quite open with me, and she told me that, she'd gone away because she was depressed, but she was quite happy to throw Don under the bus, and I kind of lost where I was.
I kind of think that there could be a legal reason why she's not allowed to come back at the moment. It could be that she's in a witness protection program, although I'm not being funny, but she's not making a great job of that because everyone knows where she is. It could be that she has like certain reasons why she can't be there because she can't handle it, but it also could be because she's absolutely terrified of Don, and perhaps the police know that Don is violent and has violent tendencies and have advised her. Maybe it's just an advisory thing, stay away while we sort this out. But given the pace that the police are going at, I can't see Grandma coming home anytime soon. Can you?
No, but that's a really good point to make about the witness protection. I don't know what this is about. Lola says, I can't read it because it's disappeared, but it's something about,
I
you
forgot.
read it on the screen.
I forgot though. Subs are not capable of critical thinking, according to some. I don't have a clue what that's about.
I appreciate all my subs. I read all my comments, every single one. I can't always reply to every single one, but I appreciate everybody's opinions and critical thinking. I think it's great. And even if they don't agree with my method or my theories, I don't care. Like, I'm quite happy to look at all sides of the coin. So I appreciate that, Lola. So you can always comment in my comment section.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's a really good point to make about the witness protection. It could be that what she's told me, she's told them, or since those messages I sent into the TBI, maybe they've gone and had a word with her and said, look, you're basically saying here that you think it's Don. What's making you think it's him?
Yeah.
And she is now in witness protection because she was supposed to go back by now.
Yeah, she was supposed to be back. I remember Candace said earlier on that she was going to come. She goes for the summer and comes back in the fall, or words along those lines. It's interesting to think about why she isn't back by now, for sure.
Yeah. There's somebody called Live. I've never heard of them before, I don't think, asking how to call in. You don't call in on this channel. You just click the link in the description. I've just put in, and then I've just pasted it into the chat. You just click on it. So yeah, I mean, like you say, it could be that, or it could be that whatever it is that she's not supposed to be seeing her other grandkids over.
Yeah.
Could be the reason why she's not supposed to be actually at Ben Hill Road. And they've basically said, look, we've looked into your background, because it was about 2 weeks after, wasn't it? So just enough time for them to have a good look at her background and say, off you go, you're not supposed to be here.
You would have thought she'd have taken her trailer with her though, right? Maybe
you would have done, wouldn't you?
Or you would have taken, because she said to you, didn't she say to you she was worried about Don taking things from her trailer or selling her trailer?
Yeah,
she might have taken her.
I told her that I was going to put out the information, and she understood why, but she wasn't happy about it, basically. And she was worried for her stuff, basically. That's what it was. She was just worried about her stuff.
That's right. And that's another example. She wasn't worried about any of the personal relationships that she has with her daughter or her son-in-law. She was worried about her personal effects, as in her items that she owns.
And a few people were like, you shouldn't have put that out. But we have to remember that she's a suspect.
Yeah.
And
she spoke
Summer
to you.
is a victim.
Yeah.
And until there is a resolution to this case, she is a suspect. And to me, a victim overrules a suspect. So apparently, according to Ziggy, the channel, Don's channel, is back up for anybody who wants to go and have a look. I think, as far as I remember, it was called Don and Candace's Family YouTube channel. Is that right?
It was called Don Wells Family YouTube. Don Wells Family YouTube.
Right, there you go. For anybody who's interested in going and having a look. He only has like 4-second clips.
Come back. If you go and have a look now, please come back.
Oh yeah, make sure you come back. It's the place to be. Oh, let me show you something, guys. Look, what do you think to this?
We've lost you, Emma. You've muted. Hello. Oh wow, look at your top. That's amazing. I want one.
It's a YouTube channel, like Crime Stories Obsessed hoodie.
Wow.
Everybody needs one. And if you enter the giveaway in the community tab with the chance to win one every month.
Wow.
So
yeah, you got merch, girl.
Yeah, so the link is under any of my videos if you want to have a look. And it's the best color, this one. This is indigo. But if you go in there, or if you want to win one, if you can't afford it, if you want to win one, just go on the community page and I pick a winner or 2 winners every month. And you could win one. Choose whatever color you want, etc. So where were we?
We were talking about Grandis and Candace.
And,
because she was a suspect.
Kids.
because she was the suspect, that's why you spoke to her and she spoke to you. The thing is, at the end of the day, she didn't have to speak to anybody she didn't want to. It was her choice. So
yeah, it was
also
her choice to leave.
Right, and also because her and Candace were the last two adults to lay eyes on that child. They were the last two adults to see Summer. So of course it's important to find out what they have to say about it at the end of the day.
Yeah, it is. And everybody's talking in the chat about the hoodies. If you want one, like I say, go in the comments, community page under the under where I've put about the giveaway this month. And chasing justice, that's so nice. Or you can go under any of my or you can go under any of my videos, and the link for the bonfire shop is in there. So where was I?
We were talking about Candace, grandma, and her being one of the last two people to lay eyes on Summer, and her messages that she sent to you.
I know, I've just made some notes. I'm just seeing where I am on my piece of A4 paper.
Okay. Wow. Is this like the 1990s and we're writing things down on paper? That's so cool. That's so retro.
I'm an 80s girl. I'm an 80s girl. Everything's written. The boyfriend said to me earlier on, why don't you just like tap it? I'm like, no, I like to write it down.
Yeah.
He's like, Emma, but you've got through about 16 pages of A4. Just kind of So I know a lot of people feel that Don is involved in this, and I think because of his actions and the way he is with a lot of these interviews and things, I can see why. But I feel more strongly right now that, and even more so of late, that Candace is just too quiet for me. Just too quiet. Thank you, Slink. That's really kind of you to put that in the chat. So there's a link for the bonfire shop in the chat if anybody wants a hoodie. Yeah, so I think she's just a bit too quiet. There's got to be a reason for it. I mean, is it because she's upset? After 100 days, you would have thought she'd have calmed down a bit. You know, she'd have. You're never going to get over that kind of thing.
I would have thought it would have put a bit of a firework up her backside, to be honest, after this long. I mean, who wouldn't still be going out of their mind looking for their child at this point? We haven't seen any of that from either of them all the way through this, but especially from Candace.
Yeah. She's just too quiet. And when I was talking to Grandis via Messenger, she was just constantly pushing without me asking anything about whether or not Candace was involved. I never asked her if Candace was involved. And she kept saying, I just need to tell you that Candace had absolutely nothing to, that's what she said. She had absolutely nothing to do with the disappearance. And I just thought, why are you saying that to me? I've not asked you that question.
A little bit too much information there, really.
Yeah. And she's just so quiet. She has been from the beginning. It feels like the only interviews she's done are the ones that she's kind of been forced into doing, because if she hadn't have done the media one with that news channel right at the beginning, it would have looked really iffy. Can you imagine? Two parents, one of them just doesn't want to do the interview.
Even now, even the interviews that came out last week on the news channels, she wasn't in them. It was Don showing the reporter how to get down the dog trail that he didn't even know existed until the search people showed him. And it was nothing. They said, where was Candace? And they said, oh, she was inside. She didn't want to speak to the media. Well, why would you not? Why would you not? I can understand you don't want media in your face, but they've hardly been in their face. It's been Don that's been on all the channels. She has not been anywhere to be seen, apart from passed out on a sofa when Don went to the toilet, and this video that came out today where she couldn't look any less like she wanted to be there if she tried.
Yeah, she was just like, for God's sake, you know, what are you doing with that phone? Just put it down. Like, I'm not interested. She almost looked to me. She didn't look like she was crying, but it looked like she'd been crying. And we know that Donald had said that she'd walked off the stage.
Right.
Now, I don't know if you watched a live that I did. Was it yesterday? I did a short live because I got some messages through. I might have to read them on my phone. If anybody's not seen them, because some people have and some people haven't. So for the people that haven't, I'll just quickly read them for you. Where are they? I hope I haven't deleted them.
It's on the screen, Emma.
I know, but I can't see the screen.
Oh, yeah.
I've not got. Oh, here it is. So the first one should say, "This is Donald Wells to share." So she says to him, "So did you do the Dr. Phil? People have got pictures of you at the airport. I don't know what to believe. If you did, it's great. If not, I don't know how people are lying." Donald Wells says, "Trying to keep all these YouTubers, from attacking us and screwing everything up. Can't lie to you, Cher, but please don't tell nobody." So then she says, "But I don't know why lie to me about it. Guess I deserve to look stupid." He said no. She said,
sorry, no comment.
Not trying to lie to Then he said, "Not trying to lie to anybody. I'm just trying to keep it quiet. What's going on? We've had people all over us from day one hating on us. I don't know. I know that's not you. I thought for a minute you was in with AB. Sorry." Like, why is he even bringing him into it? Like, leave him out of it.
Paranoia
and
much?
So I know. And then she said, "What? Oh, hell no, never. You know, I've been nothing but dragged by them." So Donald says, "Yeah, so much hate these days. We're followed everywhere. Everything we do is scrutinized. No end in sight." So she said, "You were followed to the airport. They were showing pictures of your car here today." And so he says, we've only been on the behavior panel, and that was rough. They asked tough questions. Candace got very upset." So Cher said, "Yeah." So Donald said, "She walked off." So Cher said, "Oh shit, then what?" So Donald said, "They said that it doesn't look good." Well, it's not going to look good, is it, if she just walks off the stage? I mean, talk about behavioural panel. Behavioural.
Could they make her look good? I mean, how could anyone make her look good? Sorry, I'm sorry.
I've got
totally
put me off. I've got no words now. Oh God! And so he said, "They said it don't look good." Well, no, that's what Cher said. Yeah. But I don't know why lie to me. So she's asking him again, why lie to me about it? I guess I deserve to look stupid. And he said no. And then the other two are basically copies of the first one. So yeah, so he didn't even want to tell Cheru he's supposed to be friends with, you know. So have I got rid of the pictures off the screen now?
The pictures are gone, yeah.
Oh, good. So he didn't even want to show or tell her that he'd been on it. Now, he said he's only been on the behavioural panel, but then the news today, I don't know if you saw it, the news channel today, I'm not sure which one it was, Channel 8 or W, whatever it was, said that they have been filmed for it.
Right.
Okay, live, I'll put it in again. So I'm like, what's going on?
Don playing games again. I mean, he literally never ever tells the truth about anything anyway, so I don't know why Cher would have expected him to suddenly. He's just worried. I guess maybe if the Dr. Phil show has filmed them already, maybe they're under some kind of confidence contract or no non-disclosure agreement or something until it's aired. I don't know how it works.
Well, true, but you would have thought the longer he talks about it, the more audience that Dr. Phil's going to get in one place.
I got a feeling that Dr. Phil's audience is quite a settled audience in terms of people that watch him all the time. But I've got a feeling that the outcome of it is going to be 50-50 split. I think there's going to be people that absolutely love Don and think that they're being unfairly treated and everything else. And there's going to be the other 50% that wants to burn their house down, you know? It's going to really divide people.
I was just reading a comment then, but the chat's going so quickly. Neil said, or Nell said, I heard Candace stormed off stage, but just rumours. Well, we've actually had the messages from Don. I was just reading them a second ago. And he actually did say that she did storm off, but that was on the behavioural panel. So he said anyway.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I guess that will come out in the fullness of time. I mean, if this video that's come up on the Don Wells family YouTube today was filmed either in the Dr. Phil green room or the green room for the behavioural panel, then Candace storming off, that kind of looks as though they filmed it just after Candace stormed off, right? She looks like she's just doesn't want to be there wherever they are. Perhaps that was part of the filming for the Dr. Phil show.
Yeah, I mean, they're not giving, maybe they have signed a contract not to say anything then.
Maybe.
Because,
and that's why I didn't tell Cher. But then I guess next time he gets high or drunk, he's going to tell Cher everything and we're all going to hear it. Train wreck in action as per usual. So you never know.
You never know. I've got somebody trying to join us now.
Oh, who is it? Is it Kevin B?
411.
Oh, it's not Kevin B. Kevin, grab the link.
Hopefully it's
Hi,
on.
live. Hey, can you hear us? Kevin, grab the link.
Live 411.
Hi, live.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, we're good. How are you?
Hi. Good. Thank you. Live 411.
Yeah, I have my own channel. I have my own channel on YouTube.
Okay.
Do you all think that Allison might be involved?
Yeah, I was going to get to that because I've got some interesting things to show you.
Allison might be involved.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. I do, and I'll tell you why. I've got some messages. Have you got some music on or something in the background, 411? 411? Have you got some music on in the background or some YouTube or something?
I'm actually on YouTube.
Right, but we've got like terrible background noise from you. Like serious
Let me mute.
You need to get rid of the. Just close. If you close your YouTube and just stay on StreamYard, just close your page for YouTube. Okay, so I've always wondered if Ali was involved in any way. The interview, she was shushing Hunter up at one point. I've always wondered what was going on there.
I think you had to fiddle around with the
Okay, I closed out YouTube.
Okay, that's
what have I
better.
got here?
Sounds better.
Right, so I found these messages on YouTube earlier on, and I don't know whose page they've come from.
I'll go get you one.
Can you see this message?
Barely.
I can't see it very well.
I
Can
will
you make
read
it bigger?
To you. No, not really.
Okay, I can see it. Do you want me to read it?
Do
you want me to read it?
Well, I've got it here on my phone, so I'm going to read it.
Okay, cool.
So apparently Candace says to this person, we don't know who she's talking to, but Candace says, why does H's mum have a detective? No, why does H's mum have a detective? So I think in the Chris M interview, there was some mention of a detective. So this girl said, yeah, I remember that being said. John said that. Cops are stupid. Why would they not block all roads? So Candace says, right, but why would they have a detective? So she's asking the question again, like it's something that's important to her. You know, when you send somebody a message and you ask them a question, which is quite important, and they kind of don't actually answer, and then you find that you're having to ask it again because it's something important. And that's what she's doing here. She asks twice. And this girl's saying, I don't know, I was watching it. It was another detective talking about he was the one that was supposed to take H to his dad, but he never got to take him that day because mum would not allow it. Remember the whole custody battle? That detective said that, you know, basically they refused to take him away. So then there's and then there's another one, which is just basically this girl talking. And then this one, Candace says, wonder what his name is. So she's asking about the detective. She's asking if this girl knew the detective's name that H or Ali had.
Emma.
And so, yeah.
Emma, can I just ask 411, please, can you either mute or turn the TV off in the background because it's really causing a lot of noise on the stream? Sorry. Thank you. Carry on, Emma.
So not only did she ask twice if Ali and Hunter had a detective, whether she meant a detective or a lawyer, I don't know. But then she asks again, I wonder what this detective's name is. So this person says, sorry, I was speaking into the microphone. The detective that made the video, he was pointing out how weird it was. And Candace again says, can you find that video? So she's really interested to know whether or not H or Ali had a detective. And she must have asked about 5 times there within these messages, does H's mom have a detective? But why would they have a detective? Do you know the name of the detective? Can you find the video for me? What's that about? What's going on between Candace and Ali?
She's seriously concerned about it. That's a lot of concern over something, paranoid or a guilty conscience, maybe. That was what Lady Liberty in the chat said.
Lady Liberty, yeah, it sounds like Candace was paranoid about the detective. Yeah, but why? If you're only paranoid if you've got something to hide.
Right.
I think. Is that Ruth? Is she going to bed? Night, Ruth. I think it's Ruth. Ruth, have a good sleep. But yeah, I don't know what's going on there, whether there's something. What do you think, 411? Do you think there's something going on with Ali? You mentioned it. He seems to have frozen. Shall we Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what was going on there.
All right, so let's
Candace seemed to go to a lot of effort to try and make sure what Hunter was saying and what Ali was saying and visiting their house the day after and all of that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. Turning up at the house the day after she went missing, trying to see what they'd said. Then in those messages, she's asking, you know, who is a detective? Why would they have a detective? Do you know what his name is? What video was it talked about in? You know, you're only like that if you've got something to hide, I think.
Right. She's uber anxious about it.
And I think that's the reason why she won't go out, because I think she knows she'll slip up.
Yeah. And also why she won't talk to the media, because she can't keep her story straight.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think about the amount of photos on Facebook of Summer? Do you think that's just a loving mother taking a load of photos of her daughter, or do you think there's another reason behind that, guys? What do you think, Kat?
I don't know how many photos were on her Facebook page or her TikTok videos before Summer went missing. I don't actually know that. I know there's a lot now, but I don't know how many of them were posted before and how many of them were posted after. I do think a lot of the photos are massively, well, to me, they just look completely inappropriate. There's a photo of Summer in a coffin. There's a photo,
yeah, I remember
right?
That.
Yeah, there's a number of the photos where she looks very neglected, very uncared for, hurt in some of the photos. She looks sad. I kind of think if you were going to post photos of your child, you might want to post the best of the best, you know, and not kind of the ones that make her look quite ill.
No, I agree.
What do you think?
That got a lot of people when they saw the photo of her with the in the coffin. I think that got a lot of people, really.
Yeah, it's kind of like, why would you advertise that? Why would you make a video of your child dancing to a massively inappropriate song in front of a red barrel that said for sale? You know,
Exactly.
It actually gets me quite choked up.
Now.
Okay.
I don't know what you're going to think of the route, which I know a lot of you are. If you're following the Chris McDonough interviews with Mary and Jeannie, then you'll know that that's the kind of route that they're looking at the moment. You know, they're looking into whether or not that's the case. But I want to show you something.
Go on.
So I'm going to have to get it up on my phone because I can't read it from there without my glasses on. Okay. It says, excuse me, when paedophiles see children with the heart symbol on their clothing, it's code for meaning this child is ready to be traded. It's the most vile thing you can ever imagine. So what the parent does is she will post photos of her child with these symbols, as you can see, this one here, and it doesn't have to be the two hearts inside each other, it can just be the one heart. It's a logo. One logo depicts a small heart surrounded by a larger heart, symbolizing a relationship between a paedophile and a minor girl. And then they also have this on their clothing as well. This is something that the parents will put on their clothing. And this logo means it resembles a butterfly and represents a non-preferential gender child abuser. So the FBI documents also say that these symbols are used in advertisement methods by child sexual predators to push their advocacy of the social acceptance of sexual relationships between adults and children. And these are the symbols here.
Wow.
Now, as you can see, the blue ones I've not mentioned because they're about boys. So for anybody that is looking into the sex trafficking theme, I don't think it was that, but I'm going to go with this just for a few minutes for anybody that is. Just look at this clothing and the colour purple, okay? So she has a heart on her top there, whether that means anything. It's probably just clothing that she's bought that she liked. I mean, I don't know. And then this one with the infamous red barrel behind her, she's got, when I zoomed in before, butterflies all over her dress. And again, like purpley colouring. So I don't know if anybody knows, but just literally as Summer Wells went missing, these guys here, 18 of them in total, were arrested. Now, the one in the middle, I want you to focus on him for a second. He was a resident of Tennessee. This is July 14th, 2021. He was a pastor in a church in Tennessee. He was called Matthew Brewer. He served as a youth pastor, and he was arrested along with 18. He was actually a National Guard as well, and he was arrested along with 18, so it's 18 altogether. Recently apprehended as part of a human trafficking investigation and has been charged with child solicitation of a minor. Now, I looked at this Fairfield Baptist Church, family church, where he worked as the pastor, and the videos of him playing with the kids are still up on that channel.
Wow.
Or still on that Facebook channel. As of yesterday, when I went on the Fairfield Baptist Church in Tennessee's page, they have a convicted or whatever he is. I don't know if he got off. But he was charged, and they actually took away his pastor, whatever, I don't know what it's called, but took away his job. And so he's not allowed to do that anymore. I'm probably not allowed to work with children. But they've still got all the videos of him up on there, which kind of doesn't make any sense to me, but
that's sick.
Anyway,
that is sick. I can't believe that they would keep the videos up of that. It's terrible.
Yeah. I'm just trying to see if it says, so this Baptist church, I was trying to see how close it was to where they lived, you know, whether it was, it doesn't actually say like Hawkins County, but it just says Tennessee. But within the space of like Summer going missing, I think there was a group that was caught in March, there was a group caught in June, I think it was the 21st June, and there was a group caught on the 14th of July. 3 trafficking rings in that short period of time. So if anybody who's going down that kind of theory and thinking that that's kind of what they believe happened, then there's a bit of information for you.
Yeah, I think that
can't
was
even see these. It's so small.
That was the theory that
What's
Mary
that
was.
say?
This one on the screen
Yeah.
says had their hair cut very short. Indeed, such
Oh,
offences would
right.
earn students long hours. It's that one. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Had their hair cut very short. Indeed, such offences would earn students long hours, even days, in a dark and secluded closet, often without any real food. The cutting of the hair on the first day of school, or for punishment, had profound meaning. Long hair has a deep and spiritual meaning in Indigenous cultures. To many, it serves as an extension of a person's mind, reflective of its strength and beauty. The hair length and style also distinguish between different Indigenous nations. And then it says something else, but there's a comment on the screen and I can't see it.
And basically, symbolically, cutting the person's hair by an enemy is an act of humiliation and forced submission. So although they're talking about Indigenous cultures and stuff like that, basically it's just a little bit on cutting of the hair and how it's a humiliation thing. I mean, 5-year-olds are not going to understand that, but they are going to feel like, you know, if it's not something she wanted and they are just saying that she wanted it cut like her mom or whatever, for punishment, really. And, you know, we don't know if that's what happened. We don't know that at all, but I just thought I'd read that out to you. So let's get this off the screen. Yeah, so it's just a little bit on trafficking.
Can we say thank you to Huda Ali for the £10 super chat? It says, excellent work, Emma. Excellent work, Emma. United Kingdom is proud of you. Thank you for your daily updates. Please continue spreading the awareness. Thank you very much, Huda Ali. That's really nice.
That is really, really lovely. Thank you. I'm trying to go back, and when I'm reading, when I've got the photos on the screen, I can't see the comments, so it's not like I'm ignoring anybody or anything. Thank you, Huda. Thank you so much. We do really appreciate it. Excellent work. United Kingdom is proud of you. Thank you. So yes, so for anybody who is considering the trafficking theory, I just, you know, that's what I do. I'm not just going to say, right, this is what I think, and I think this is the case. I think it's Candace, which I do, and basically just say to everybody, I don't want to hear anyone else's theories. You know, I'm quite happy to look into every theory for everybody. And, you know, if you ever want to comment on my comment section, whatever a theory you've got, as long as you're polite, I don't mind, and I'll look into things for you, even if it's not my theory. So so where were we? Oh, we've got so much. I've still got loads here. Oh, Dawn said that Summer liked women and that she gravitated towards strong women. Now, I think he just meant any women, to be honest. She was very close with Ali. She was very close with Ali's daughter. She was very close with Robin. I think any woman that came into her life, she was very close to. Thank you, Randy. Now, I think that was possibly due to her not liking men, because if there was something going on in that house, whether it be with him or with anybody else, that would be a reason why she would gravitate more towards women. Yeah, JT said, you know, she's possibly scared of men.
Yeah.
Because Mary's new theory, or her theory, I don't know if it's new, she said that she felt that, and it's exactly what I said on my stream about 2-3 weeks ago. I said, I think that shed at the bottom of the garden was possibly used. This was when I was going with that theory. The shed at the bottom of the garden was used for her to be taken down there for any men that wanted to be there. Dawn would organize it. She would go in the shed at a certain time. They would come, and she would probably be picked up by her mum, or she would wander back up to her home. No problem. But that particular day, Mary said she feels that she just didn't come back home, or when Candace went down to get her, she wasn't there. So is that the case? I don't know.
I know that's what Mary's theory from the interview room interview was the other day, that I think it was Jeannie's husband or Mary's husband I think it was Jeannie's husband had suggested that might be what happened, and Mary seemed to really have thought about it a lot and really kind of turned it over in her mind. It's a difficult one, because it could be possible, it could fit into the scenario, but I guess it's kind of like it opens a lot more questions than we have answers for, and it adds something else that can't be proven or disproven. It's a really difficult theory to kind of get your head around in some respects. Well, that's how I feel.
Yeah, it is. And you know, I said exactly the same as Mary, like I say, about 2 or 3 weeks when I did a live, and I said that's what I felt the shed was about. I mean, I didn't think about the shed until Chris McDonough mentioned it, but as soon as he mentioned it, I thought that's what's happening. But I'm kind of now going a bit more with Candace, because I'm thinking whatever it is, she knows something. She definitely knows something. Whether it is the case that it's the two things combined, maybe she was aware of Summer going down to that shed, and she'd maybe always said to Don, you know, I'm not happy about this, I don't agree with it, what on earth are you doing, but kind of went along with it because she didn't feel like she choice. And then when she went missing, she has something to hide now, because she you know, that's maybe why he's kind of trying to write this narrative that she was abducted, but he can't say who by, because if he does, then he's basically putting himself in it for trafficking her out, basically.
I'm sure Summer did gravitate towards women, you know, because Summer needed kindness, Summer needed warmth, Summer needed love, Summer needed attention, Summer needed all the things that every other child needs in life. And I don't think she got it from her parents at all. And I think that other women that she did gravitate towards were probably better mothers to her. And I think that's what she saw in them. That's my personal opinion.
I think you're right. It's so sad.
Yeah.
I wrote down a few things earlier on to do with adults that display signs of SA tendencies. And from what we've heard, these could be true. It says that they may be overly affectionate, you know, maybe wanting them to sit on their knee, wrestle, hugs, tickle, you know, a bit over the top. And we have heard him saying, you know, she just wanted to twirl in my hand, and we slept in the same bed, and she was the love of my life. I loved her to death, you know, all this kind of stuff. Have a favorite child, which I think he's kind of made out, or it felt like he's made out that was that was kind of the way he was thinking, but maybe I took it the wrong way. Buying them special gifts that the other children aren't getting. Now, we did hear, didn't we? There was, and there was a woman, didn't she, come forward, and I did make a video on it. Oh, it's right back at the beginning. And a woman came forward saying that she knew the family. Do you remember the woman that wanted to take Summer to the movies?
Yeah.
And she was saying that Don would buy gifts for Summer, you know, on a regular basis, dolls and clothes and, you know, all sorts of things. It's almost like a guilt thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess when you see a child looking that sad and neglected, you would want to do nice things for them, wouldn't you? You know, you just...
You know, you're doing that to them, or you're sending them down to that shed, or you're doing something to them yourselves. You're gonna want to kind of make up for it, aren't you? Other things, sleeping in the same bed together, using the same bathroom, undressing together, and locking them away from the rest of the family, and just breaking down a child's personal boundaries. Well, I mean, I look at all of those, and from the interviews I've seen, those have possibly all been, I mean, Don doesn't seem to have any boundaries for personal space when it comes to using the toilet, as we've seen. He's already said that they slept in the same bed together and she was twisted around his body when he woke up. Undressing together, you know, locking her away in the basement, somebody said. I mean, we don't know. It's just all, isn't it? But, you know, we're just looking at every aspect. We're not saying that that's what happened. But, yeah, May, I agree with that.
I just want to correct something I said then, because I didn't actually realise we were still talking about the same thing. When I said you would want to buy a child lovely things if you thought they were being neglected, I thought we were talking about the women that cared for Summer. Again, sorry, that was my bad. Of course, that is grooming behaviour, buying children gifts, because it's a way of grooming children in terms of sexual abuse. So I just wanted to make that clear and make that clarification. Sorry, thank you.
Don't worry. So what else have I got? So apparently, just moving off the subject a bit, he's got a long history of substance abuse, and apparently when his son Donnie Jr. Was about 18, do you remember he went to prison? I think it was for having a girlfriend that was a bit younger and living with her at 14 or something.
Right, so he was sending her solicitors text messages, kind of like,
apparently they lived together.
Yeah, they did.
Told.
They got married. They're married now, but at the time she was 14 and he was 18, 19. So that's why he was convicted, because she was 14. They are married now. They have kids now. But at the time he got into trouble for it because she was 14 and he was older.
Just reading this comment. Can you post live 411? What's he saying? I can't chat just as you go to read something and then it like darts off in another direction. Can you post the question if Ali may have done this for revenge or accident gone wrong? I don't know. I think she knows more. I think she probably knows more than she's letting on, and I think I can't understand why Candace seems to be very interested in whether or not they have a detective, what his name is. Can we find the video for you know, of when this was discussed? Why would you want to know that? Doesn't make sense. So yeah, so when Donnie came out of prison,
sorry, go on. I was just going to say, just to reference back to Huda Ali's super chat, because we did actually read it out, but I think you might not have heard us. She sent another one and it says, "Excellent work, Emma and guest. You missed my previous super chat. Personally believe they are all suspects. The only victim is Summer. Don hardly mentioned Summer." Just reading that out.
Oh, she sent another one.
Yeah, because I think she thought that we maybe missed the first one, but I think we were just a bit late to the party on that one. Sorry.
Yeah,
thank you very much, Huda Ali.
Thank you, Huda. That's so nice. She's so nice.
Yeah.
She's always in the chat. Lovely. Thank you. So when Donnie Jr. came out of prison, he was only, I think he was 18. Well, I think the age over there is like 21, isn't it? I'm not really sure. Anyway.
It was because she was 14. That was the problem.
Yeah, and he had to come out and he had to go stay with his parents. But apparently Don at the time and his wife were on substances. So he had to go live with somebody else, which is terrible, isn't it? It's like he's never really been there for his kids. So see why he wants to be there for these, but I just can't see that. And I've got here the amount of time he spent talking on different news channels, YouTube channels, and talking to fans. We should know every inch of Summer.
Yeah.
The amount of hours we've listened to him, we should know her every outing, her favourite everything, every toy she ever played with, every comment she ever made.
Yeah.
But we know nothing apart from the fact that she used to twirl, liked that particular song, and enjoyed Purple and that toy, Paw Patrol. I mean, really, do we know much about Summer? We think we do. We don't. And he spent all that time talking to all these outlets.
Yeah.
But all we know is about him.
It's not like he hasn't been asked the questions either. It's not like all the people that have done interviews with him have never asked him these questions. He just doesn't have any answers. What was her favourite food? Candy and French fries. You know, these things he stumbles. Oh, I don't remember. Oh, I don't know. What was her favourite candy? Well, she liked all kinds of candy. You know, just he's never got any answers for these questions. What was Summer like? Well, she loved to twirl. You know, he never has anything to say about her.
No, it's always about my sister's this and my sister's that. And you just think, have you actually got anything to tell us about Summer? We're not interested in you. We don't care about you. We don't care about what happened to you when you were younger, or like where you and Candace have been, really. I mean, we're looking into it, obviously, because it's all part of the case, but we want to know about Summer. So when you have a chance to talk, tell us about Summer.
Absolutely.
But anyway,
well, it kind of gets him off the hook. It kind of gets him off the hook, because how many times has he been asked to plead for his daughter's return by various different people, by the behavioural panel, by the news outlets, by Cher, by other people have asked him, plead for your daughter. This is your chance, plead for your daughter. He can't do it. He hasn't done it. He can't do it. The most he ever says is, well, you know, whoever's holding her, I hope, you know, they don't hurt her. And it's like,
I like your accent.
Sorry. But he does, he just, it's almost like he can't even string a sentence together about Summer. Not a whole sentence, not one single sentence. It's strange. It's odd. It's just not parental behaviour. It's nothing that I can relate to on any level. And it's sad, because Summer was obviously a beautiful girl. She had very beautiful looks and stuff, and you know, she must have had more to her than liking a Paw Patrol toy and liking to twirl. You know, why didn't they know that stuff about her? They're her parents. They should know her. They should know her better than they do.
Is that the reason why they can't tell us? Because they don't really know? I mean,
yeah, I mean, where have they been for the last 5 years of her life? Where have they been that they don't know anything about this child? It's sad.
Either that, or they're just so narcissistic. All they want to do is talk about themselves. I had a boyfriend like that once.
They've taken so many drugs.
Yeah, so many drugs. But I had this boyfriend once, and he was like that. He used to come home and I'd say, "What? Yeah, are you okay?" And he'd tell me all about his day, and not once would he ever ask about me.
No,
you know, and you don't want somebody like that.
No.
Right. So look at this photo.
Okay. First of all, we have to do a super chat first. Birds of Sorrow.
Wait a minute.
Thank you, Birds of Sorrow. He knows very little about his children. I was just telling you about the super chat in the chat.
I'm just going back. I'm on the photos again, you see.
I can see that mattress. I can smell it from here. Sorry,
where's the super chat? I can't see it.
It's from Birds of Sorrow.
Oh, there. Yeah. I've got it. Yes. He knows. Can't see the screen.
He knows very little about his children. Yeah, that's the truth.
He does. Thank you, Birds of Sorrow. That's really kind of you.
That mattress, Emma. What is that mattress, please? It's so gross that I can smell it from here. I can smell it from England.
Right, whose
they need
mattress?
to burn that thing. It's disgusting.
Whose mattress is it? Yes, the banging on the fridge.
Well,
yeah, it was can't banging on that fridge. What was all that about?
Yeah, banging on the fridge. Oh, you know, Summer used to love to play on the fridge because that's a really appropriate place for a 5-year-old. Why would you let your 5-year-old play in a fridge? It's the most dangerous thing that you can do.
Got it sealed.
Exactly.
Yeah, accidentally shut.
Why not build her a climbing frame or a tree house or, you know, give her something proper to play with? A fridge? Are you joking? Oh, yeah, Summer used to love to play on the fridge. Oh, nice one, Don. You couldn't have built her a tree house, no, with your building skills. Shocking. Absolutely
so
shocking.
Randy says, I can smell. Oh, no, it's not Randy.
Randy Ray wants the facts.
There was somebody saying that's got to be evidence.
Surely if it was evidence, surely they would have removed it as evidence. The police would have taken it as evidence if it was evidence.
Well, the thing is, this case was a missing persons case. It's not been a criminal investigation. Right. Unless they've turned it into a criminal investigation recently, it would still be a missing persons case, in which case they wouldn't have, because that would have been on the bed, maybe with a blanket over it. They wouldn't have seen all those stains. I'm interested to know why it's still got the sheet on it. And if that's the sheet that she used to lay on, if that's Summers, because I'm guessing that was Summers, it's been taken out of downstairs. They had a double bed. The only 2 beds that were down there in that house was Summer. In that bottom bit was Summer and the little boy. Now, I know he's gone, but I'm guessing that might be Summers. I don't know why. I'm just thinking possibly, you know, they've got rid of it because they're thinking she might not be coming back, or they know she might not be coming back. But look at the stains on that. Did she actually sleep on that dirty sheet? Because if she did, guys, you really need to have a long, hard look at yourself, because not everybody can afford nice things, but come on.
Emma,
you've got to agree, guys.
She slept in bed with Don every night for 5 years, according to Don. So that wasn't her mattress, if that was true. But it was one of the kids' mattress, and it just goes to show how neglected those children were. And why would you go on a national news station and have a mattress like that leaning up against the door, for God's sake?
Exactly. And that tells me that none of them even think that there's anything wrong with it.
Right.
Because otherwise, if that was me, I'd be thinking, oh shit, better get rid of that mattress.
Yeah, get rid of the mattress. We don't want a news crew to film that.
Yeah, exactly. But they obviously think there's absolutely nothing wrong with it, which is even worse.
It's disgusting.
So this picture, I think you've seen it before. Now this is a picture that I posted to I think I made a video about it. Now this picture, if you can see, because it's only small, but it says that this picture was posted on June the 15th, the day that Summer went missing. I think it says 6:05, is it?
6:00.
Just at the time when apparently Summer went missing.
Quite hard to see.
So this was posted on Candace's Facebook. Now, obviously, I've put the blue line on, and you can see the little brain touching its head. That was me. But why is Summer in the right-hand corner of this picture, in the kitchen with a brother at 6:05 when apparently she'd gone missing at that time? Now, is this an old photo that they've just suddenly decided to put up? Was it taken just before she got sent down? She's not wearing the tracksuit that she apparently came home in that day. What do you make of that?
Well, I kind of think it's so random, because it's obvious it could be an old picture. So it could have been something that she had on her phone that she wanted to upload. But at this time of day, her daughter had already been reported missing, or was about to be reported missing, and she's posted a photo of her son, and Summer's not even really in that picture. She's in the corner of it. But at the point where your child is going missing, are you going to be sitting there uploading photos to Facebook, or are you going to be out looking for your child, or are you going to post a picture of the child that's missing?
Which means she either wasn't missing. I mean, going by the other things that she posted that day, she posted them as they happened, didn't she? So she posted the swimming video.
Exactly.
Etc.
Right.
So if she did uppost that at 6:05, then Summer wasn't missing at 6 o'clock.
Exactly.
So
either that or Summer was missing and she's sitting there, instead of looking for Summer, she's sitting there uploading photos of her son to Facebook. I mean, you'd post a picture of the child that was missing first, would you not? Oh my God, my child's just gone missing. Here is her picture.
Now, when you take a photo, if you've got a decent, well, I think it does with any phone, it logs the time that you take that photo. And if I was a detective, I'd be saying, right, I want to know the time that photo was taken.
Yeah.
I want to know, I can see the time it was uploaded.
Right.
Was it uploaded at the time it was taken? If so, she wasn't missing it.
Right.
At 6 o'clock, at 6:05. So I'd be wanting to look at the time that it was taken and work that out. I mean, we've covered this one before, I think. You know, we'll get rid of that now. We've covered that before a long time ago, but it still interests me because I mean, you know, I just think, have they looked at that? Have they worked out when, if there are any police listening to this, cops, whatever you call them in America, you know, look into that. Look at the time that it was taken. They probably already have, and see, you know, because the call came in around about that time. So how can she be on the phone to the cops and uploading that photo at the same time? What time did you make the call? Do you know what time she made the call?
Was it 5:30? The first 911 call was received, and Don got home at 6:30.
Yeah, so 5:30.
Right.
The call comes in, but at 6:05, she's uploading photos.
Right. Yeah, doesn't matter really if the photo was even taken that day. Why would you be sitting uploading photos to Facebook while your daughter is already missing and the police are already on? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense.
No. So, oh my God, 911, please. I've got a missing child. I don't know what to do. Right. I'm crying my eyes out. Please help me. I don't know what to do. Okay, we'll be there as soon as we can. And then sit down, go on Facebook, do a bit of scrolling. Oh, I'll just upload a photo.
Yeah, of course. What? Every parent's dream. Oh, it's crazy. Emma.
Doesn't make sense.
It's crazy. It's crazy. None of it makes sense. And also, I'm still really concerned that this hasn't even been considered by the TBI. They seem to, I know, because they're giving us no information, there's a huge void, and obviously speculation is filling that void. But you would think things like this are so self-explanatory and so obvious that it could be either discounted, understood, explained, but they're giving no information. It almost just makes me wonder, did they take any evidence at the time when Summer went missing? Because she was a missing child. She wasn't a presumed, you know, murdered or anything child. So did they treat it as a missing persons investigation, or did they treat it as a possible kidnapping, homicide, whatever? They don't seem to have taken the information.
Well, I mean, given the fact that they took their phones, I'm guessing that they were ruling that out. But whether, I mean, first, obviously, it's going to be a missing persons case. At what point it turned into a criminal investigation? Is it a criminal investigation? They're saying they're all suspects. I'm guessing, I'd like to think it's a criminal investigation now. And if so, where's Grandis's car? Has it been checked? You know, all these things.
Yeah, exactly.
All these questions.
It seems to me that they went back a week later and may have taken things a week later. But by that point, it's too late to assess evidence that might have been present at the scene at the time. It's a different type of evidence they would need for a missing persons investigation to a homicide or kidnapping or anything like that. They would need a different set of evidence for that. Yeah. It's scary.
You're right. Infamous Truth Teller says crime stories obsessed. I can't even say the name to my own channel. She could have been missing way before they supposedly called 911, and that may be why she was casually uploading photos to Facebook. Very true. I mean, my theory is that, I don't know, I go backwards and forwards. I do believe what Mary's saying with the shed thing. I think there was something going on, and I think they were both hiding the fact that they were selling her, possibly out of that shed. I think that was going on, whatever the case is. But whatever it is, Candace is showing all signs of guilt right now, and what that is, I don't know. But if you've got a missing child, you are literally going to be begging every media station, just like the Maya Millette case, with her sister who's coming on our channel tomorrow night to talk about Maya. She's been on every news channel she can possibly get her hands on, every YouTube channel that'll take her. She's there because she wants people to know about Maya, which is what you would do. You would want to tell everybody in the whole world. You would want the world to know that your daughter was missing in order to try and find her. Hiding away, taking meth and sitting back in your chair every day in, day out, is not helping find your daughter, and it's making you look even more guilty.
Right.
To me anyway. But,
I mean, there's no set way that a parent should behave, is there? There's not like a manual that says when your child goes missing, you have to display X, Y, and Z. But there's an instinct in a mother, there's an instinct in a father that they don't seem to possess between the two of them. There is nothing there. And it's the same with the grandmother as well. She has the same lack of instinct. Their instinct is not to get up, go search for their daughter day and night. Their instinct is to complain because the helicopters above their house that are searching for their daughter are keeping them awake at night. That's what happened. They complained because the helicopters that were flying above the house the night she disappeared were keeping them awake. I mean, come on.
It just bewilders me.
Absolutely. When does the instinct kick in?
Who would be sleeping?
Right. Who would want to go sleep the night that their daughter goes missing? But no, they're in such a state that they have to complain that the helicopters are keeping them awake and that, they can't get any sleep. Well, I've never failed to be stunned by it. I've never failed. It's just shocking.
It's madness. Right, look at this photo, right, and tell me what's wrong with it. It's like one of those photos where you have to draw a circle to work out what's wrong. Can you work it out?
Well, what? Is it different? Oh my God. I can't.
Can you see it?
I can see a picture, but I'm trying to work out. Okay, come on, you're going to have to tell me because we're keeping us in suspenders here.
Can you see it better now?
No, it looks exactly the same.
Oh. Right, basically,
don't have the same shoes on.
That's it. She's got two different shoes on.
Right.
You have to circle the. Those books you can get where you circle.
Right. Spot the difference. Right. I know what you mean. Is it because she's got another pair like that somewhere?
Possibly. Oh my God. So look at this photo. What do you think to this? This is a newish one. I don't think anybody's seen this.
Oh, we're back to the glorious.
Look at the vest top. Look at the vest top. Is that vest top again?
Oh, it's gone. Were you trying to protect my mental imagery? And there we go. Side boob. Sorry. Oh dear. Yeah. Okay. Well, we're not here to critique the portrait. What would you like to say about the picture?
she just doesn't look like somebody you'd mess with.
Oh, I 100% wouldn't mess with her, or unless she was off her
Like
face, in which case I'd.
If I was living on Ben Hill Road, I probably wouldn't be doing a live stream right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Oh God. I mean, do you think she went on Dr. Phil just to get a makeover? Do you think they gave her like lipstick and eyeshadow and?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, Don says in those messages that the photo that was taken was of them at the behavioural panel.
Oh yeah, she doesn't look like they put. Mind you can put lipstick on a pig, but it's still a pig, right?
Do you know what? I think if they're going to try and make you look bad because they don't believe you, I think they're just going to let them come in as they are.
I mean, at least she didn't wear the Confederate flag hat again. Well, something, I suppose. I mean, I'm sorry, not. I know this is not a fashion show or anything, but the way she walks around with that Confederate flag on her hat, it just makes me sick. Well, they both make me sick.
Can you tell me what that means? I don't know what the Confederate. Do I sound really uneducated?
Oh wow!
Now, but what is?
No, it's fine. I'm sure a lot of American people know exactly what it is. It's a very controversial flag in America. A lot of has a lot to do with racism and slavery and things that I'm probably not qualified to talk on, but I know that it's a very controversial flag. It's seen as racist by the majority of people in America, but there are people in the south states of America that still fly the flag and still wear it on their clothing, like Candace's hat with it on.
Right.
It's very, very, very insulting. Yeah,
I knew it was controversial, but I didn't know why. So I don't know if anybody missed it, guys, but 2 days ago, was it 2 days ago? 3 days ago, maybe. I woke up and I thought, you know what? I'm just going to have a quick scroll through like I normally do, going around the... and I was looking everywhere. And I got my love letter from Don. Eventually, he's noticed my channel. So pleased. And he said, Crime Stories obsessed. Seems you're perfect in every way. Have the perfect answers, know all. Perfect house, plenty of money, perfect dogs. And property as you walk around on your perfect property, judging others as you walk around in your perfect life. Go ahead. Keep hurting us with your fiery darts. We weren't born into a perfect life. And maybe we do have problems, maybe because predators. Where's the predator come from? Predator. Right. Predators like you have been hurting us as long as we can remember. So as you are making yourself look so perfect and important, just remember you're doing it at the cost of stepping on our heads and making it even harder on our kids. We're trying hard to hold down a job, work on our house as we can. And sure, we will never be as perfect as you, but we are trying. Everything we've done on our house, we've done ourselves, as we can't afford contractors like you can. Okay.
Right. How are your perfect dogs, by the way?
My perfect dogs are meowing fine, you know.
Still eating the cat food, right?
First of all, actually a friend came round the other day, the one that fell asleep with the vodka. Yeah.
Oh,
well, right, yeah. He came round and I asked him to bring some cat food and he brought this woof food. Never seen it before. And so I gave it to the cats because I had nothing else in and they ate it.
Oh, wow.
So it might be, they might start barking soon.
Yeah, I think you might be right. How are those fiery darts hurting you, by the way? Fiery darts. God,
it's very fiery. I don't have a perfect house. I rent, like a lot of people, because I can't afford to buy. I lost every penny I had in the recession. I don't have any land, not a single bit. I don't walk around my house judging people. I sit on a live stream to do it.
Yeah.
I don't have any perfect dogs.
I love you, Emma.
I don't have any fiery darts. And I wasn't born into a perfect life. Nobody's ever given me a penny. I have become a paramedic off my own back with hard work and going to school after college, after I left school, uni, you know. I've not been given anything. Nobody's bought me a car, driving lessons, nothing. Everything I have, which isn't much, I've paid for. And so people were commenting saying, I think he's got you mixed up with Michelle After Dark, is it?
Yeah,
and I was like, I don't know, because I do generally watch her, but the last week or so I've been so busy on nights and everything, and I've had a bit of annual leave, so I've just been like keeping myself to myself. So I've not watched anybody really, apart from
But
Doug.
Do you know what it is? I think they just think that we all sound the same, Emma.
Oh, English. Yeah, English, that's it. Yeah,
we're all in the same country. It doesn't mean we're the same person, right?
Yeah, and I think Michelle's great. She's always puts out great content. But I haven't seen whatever it is that's upset him. But yeah, Michelle, Lynn's saying Michelle walks her dogs, and she does. She walks around like, I don't think it's her property. I think it's
it's Phil's.
She's like, yeah. And they were saying, I think it's her they're talking about, and I was like, oh right, okay. I didn't know. I know she's got dogs, so I thought, oh, maybe it is her. But yeah, JT, I think everybody in England apparently just must sound the same. But obviously, when you're American, an English accent is all the same. But of course, as you can tell between me and Kat, our accents are slightly different because we're completely different sides of the UK.
You're up north, lass.
But yeah,
and I'm down.
I think you've got funny accent. English ladies rock. Thanks,
yeah,
Greta.
we do. Yeah, we do. Yeah, no, it's kind of the difference between a New York accent and a Texas accent. There's a world of difference between those two accents, but I guess, because, well...
No, we notice it, Kat, because we watch a lot of YouTube. So we're used to the difference between, like, for instance, a Donwell's accent and say Dougie's accent.
Yeah.
We're used to the different accents.
True.
So to us, we can tell the difference. But I guess unless you watch a lot of UK creators, we're all going to just probably sound UK, like English. That's good.
To be fair, I think Michelle and yourself are in a similar area of the UK up north. So it's probably possible they could have got you confused. But I mean, he obviously doesn't really like pay much attention to who's speaking. It's obviously
I think he's asked somebody like Benny, for instance, or somebody.
Probably.
Who's
Benny.
The English girl?
Right.
Who's the English girl that walks the dogs? Or who's the English girl that's talking about me? And they'll have said, "Oh, Crime Stories obsessed," because you know, whatever. And he's just gone straight away with that and not like looked into it to see.
I mean, you would think if he was going to write love letters, he'd get the right person to write the love letter too, right? With their fiery darts. How dare he accuse you of having fiery darts?
Well, you know, he reads his comments, because there were loads of people telling him underneath his comment, it's not Crime Stories Obsessed that's got any dogs. You know, you're talking about Michelle After Dark, we think. And so within 24 hours, that post had been taken down. But no apologies, I'm Crime Stories Obsessed, I was actually talking about. So nothing.
No.
He just took it down and kind of put up some post about how he loves his kids.
Right, of course.
And then some cryptic messages, some photos of some barns.
Right.
Like,
oh yeah, I saw that. Was that the one where he was driving and then he or it was through his windscreen of his car saying how beautiful it was and the area was that But at that point,
But
it was
before,
also, it was 6 hours after that photo that the photos of his car at the airport appeared on YouTube. So there was 6 hours difference between the first photo, which was showing him driving somewhere around Tennessee in the beautiful, and then 6 hours later there was a photo of his car at an airport.
Oh, I haven't seen the airport photo.
Right, I think am I allowed to say the channel? Who's got it?
Who?
Emma?
Yeah.
True Crime Commentary. Penny at True Crime Commentary had the photos on her community wall of his car parked at the airport on the day that they were meant to be going to see Dr. Phil or film Dr. Phil or whatever. There were 6 hours differences in those photos.
I'll have to go and have a look.
Yeah, go have a look.
I'm always happy to, you know, if there's anybody you like, any other channels that you like, put it in the comment section. You know, I'm happy to promote any other channels. We're all here doing the same thing. You know, it's not a competition. So put the names in, get them some views. Doesn't bother me.
You're a good woman, Emma.
I try. I try. We're not in competition, are we? You know, and like I've said to the channels out there with the lesser amount of views, such as like Mountain Girl, others, I'm always happy to have them on to promote their channels as well. Happy with that, no problem at all. You know, I would have liked that, and I didn't really have that at the beginning. Nobody really had me on. And you know, I kind of thought at the time it would have been nice if somebody would have done that for me and had me on, and I've got to 22k almost by sheer hard work, but it would have been nice if somebody had offered me up. And so I thought, well, you know, if maybe I could change that, because people will see me doing that and then maybe they'll do it. So
yeah, it's always room for everyone on YouTube, and I think just spread the positivity around. You know, if you like a channel because you get something really beneficial out of it, let other people know about it. Share the channel, share this channel, share the videos. It's good to have a bit of positivity floating around.
Yeah, but if you haven't watched, guys, you've got to go and watch it. I was literally howling with laughter. I entered Doug's live show, and he had Josh on from the lab, and it was what, 3 days ago? Was it about 3 or 4 days
like
ago?
That. Yeah.
And I think it was called Super Sticker something.
Sunday. Still Super Sticker Sunday.
That's it. And I came on half an hour before the end, so you can either watch it all or skip half an hour before the end. And oh my god, me and the boyfriend, we had Doug like in a state. It was so funny.
Oh, it was hilarious.
God, you had to be there. Oh, it was just
Let's
hilarious.
Just say that Doug found out that Emma had a boyfriend in bed next to her while he was jealously dribbling on his live stream. It was brilliant. Go watch it.
And he's a surgeon, the boyfriend, and he literally said to Doug, I'm a surgeon. And Josh was laughing and he was saying, oh my God, Doug, you've really got some competition now. And then the boyfriend came on and said, I like to chop things off, but I don't like to put them back.
It was brilliant.
And you should have seen Josh was like under the bloody
desk.
I
don't think Josh knew where to put his face. He was like, he really didn't know where to look. It was hilarious.
It was absolutely hilarious. Oh God, I've never laughed so much. So couple of recent comments I got. This is just the end now. Couple of recent comments. Ro said under my comment section, she said, I honestly cannot imagine if a child went missing on my watch that they would only interview my spouse.
Right.
Why they don't have an interrogation on Candace alone. It's very strange. And yeah, I completely agree with that. Like, that's, you know, if a child went missing on her watch, why would they interview her husband that wasn't there?
Right.
It doesn't make sense.
Well, none of the people that have interviewed them, bar the TBI, Hawkins County, etc., have had the authority to interrogate them. Even on the behavioural panel, Don wasn't interrogated. They gave him free rein to say basically what he's always said again. Candace wasn't featured on there. She didn't have to be. It wasn't an interrogation, legal interrogation. I guess they have to have enough evidence to conduct an interrogation, and it would have to be done legally rather than on the media. But yeah, I don't get why Candace isn't going on the media, but I kind of think that they don't have the right to make her either.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, depends whether it's a missing or a criminal investigation. If it's a criminal investigation, they can do what they want. They can have her in there for hours, I guess.
But neither of them have been, I mean, they've all been said they haven't been ruled out as suspects, but none of them have been interrogated thus far. And there's got to be a reason for that.
There's got to be. I mean, whether they have been and they just don't want to say. I mean, it's like the drug thing, you know. Don has basically said that they had some weed in the system. That was it, you know.
Right.
But we know much better than that because Chris M told us that they both had like 3 substances in the system: meth, coke, and, you know, weed. And so we know that they had all this going on in the system. But when he told and said what he had, he said, "Oh yeah, just Candace. She just had a bit of weed," you know. And so, Birds of Sorrow, she says, I would be too embarrassed. What did she say? Can't say, it's disappeared. I would be too embarrassed to try and promote myself on someone else's channel unless they promoted me themselves. But that's just me. Do you have a YouTube channel, Birds of Sorrow? If you do, everybody go across to Birds of Sorrow. Give us some love. Give us some love. Yeah, and in relation to the Dr. Phil situation, Shelley Lapine said, I wouldn't go on Dr. Phil's show if my life depended on it. He's so egotistical, and the man who feels he is always right belittles his so-called guests and humiliates them. I can't see them hitting that so-called show. What do you reckon to that?
Well, I kind of think that, I mean, I haven't seen Dr. Phil. I have to just make that quite clear to the American audience because I don't want to be told that I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm just going to admit that right now. If Dr. Phil is the kind of, I don't know, Jeremy Kyle, Jerry Springer type of person who is going to push them and push them and push them, Don's not going to crack under that kind of pressure. Are you kidding me? He's going to love it. He's going to be like, yeah, I didn't do nothing wrong. I just was at work and, blah, blah, blah. He's going to be throwing Candace under the bus. And if Candace did walk off of that show, that's going to be the reason why, in my opinion. Yeah, because I think he loves being on camera. I think he totally loves being the center of attention. So he's not going to buckle to Dr. Phil. Are you kidding me? He's going to take it as almost like a compliment that Dr. Phil's, asking him questions. He's on the TV. He's going to be famous. That's his ultimate goal, really. He just wants it to be famous, or infamy, as he's going to end up with. But all publicity is good publicity for Don, right?
Yeah, that's the way he portrays it anyway. I think he would love it. It's almost like every interview he does, he's getting better at it, and it's almost like he sees it as what's the word? It's almost like he sees it as a challenge.
Yeah. He's too narcissistic to take criticism. He's just going to big himself up even more.
Yeah, I mean, somebody was asking, do we get Dr. Phil here now?
No.
We do if we've got Sky. I think you can if you've got the Sky channels.
Oh,
but I think I've only ever watched it. The only time I've watched it is if there's been like a case of something that I'm particularly following, and I think it was it, I can't remember which case it was now, a few months ago, maybe a year ago, and they were he was interviewing somebody, family members related to a case, and I watched it, and he was asking some pretty hard questions, but you could tell that they were innocent and they really wanted his help. So it wasn't that bad. So the one I saw wasn't too bad.
Right.
So I couldn't really comment on whether been in the UK, it's not something we see on a regular basis. There was a comment that I highlighted.
I heard as well about the Dr. Phil show. I heard that when they go on the Dr. Phil show, they're quite often put through a drug test or a polygraph test on the show. Is that true?
I wouldn't know.
Wait for the chat to
I mean,
catch up.
It sounds like something he would do. But,
and I wonder if that would reveal anything, in public rather than it being kept in private. I don't know, because I don't know the show. I'm really sorry, I can't. Dr. Phil offers them all the time.
I don't know. I mean, there's lots of people saying, and I've heard this earlier on in my comment section, the Steve Wilco show, he would really ask them some questions. But the only time I've ever seen him was years ago on the Jerry Springer show, and he was very quiet and he didn't really say anything. So I don't even know he had a show of his own, to be honest.
No, I don't know who he is either.
Person on the channel. Don't know what that's about.
I don't either. I must have missed something. But yeah, I don't have to mention anything about that kind of stuff.
So really, that's kind of all we've got. I mean, we were going to talk about the Angel Nicole Overstreet case, but I think we're going to have to add that in for another night, maybe Monday night, because I'm going away for the weekend.
Lovely.
So because we started at like 11 and it's 1:30.
Yeah. Just to quickly mention it though, Emma has done a video about Angel. Some people were asking earlier, how can they find out more information about it? If you go and watch the videos that Emma's made about Angel, you will find out. And then next time when we talk about it on the live, you'll have a bit more background information on the case.
Yeah, that's a good idea, Kat. Yeah, I did. When it first started, when she went missing in May, I think it was, I did do a few different ones as we got updates. Then I got in touch with the mother, and the mother was quite open with me and started telling me what she thought had happened. And so I had a few, like 4 or 5 different videos. So what I did yesterday or the day before was I added all those videos together into one video, so it made it easier for everybody to get all the facts in one video rather than having to watch a few. So I kind of consolidated it. So if anybody wants to watch that, I think I uploaded that like 2 days ago. And to be honest with you, I was a bit disappointed with the amount of views that the Angel Nicole Overstreet case got, because when I looked at like the Summer Wells case, it's getting like 7.5 thousand views on my channel, and some of them have had like 25,000 views, and one of my videos even got 60,000 views. And wow. And then you look and that one I made on Angel Nicole Overstreet, who's just as important as Summer. She didn't even have as much life as Summer. She was only a couple of months old, and what did it get, like 1,000 views or something? It's just sad. But the focus is on Summer, unfortunately. Everybody wants to know what's happening with Summer. So yeah.
But if you want homework, if you want a bit of homework, then before the next time when we talk about Angel Overstreet, go watch the video that Emma made, and that will give you some more information.
Yeah, have a look. So guys, that's all we've got time for tonight. Do you like my microphone? It's brand new, cost me quite a lot of money. I didn't buy it because it lights up really, but it is quite a good effect. It just changes color constantly, but apparently It's quite a good one, and I think the sound is a lot better than how it was before when I was trying to do live streams.
It's groovy.
So thank you. Do you like it?
It's groovy. I love it. I've been tripping out on it all the way through the stream, actually. I keep watching it change colours and I'm like, whoa, that's far out. It's great, Emma.
Yeah, I don't want to look at it, otherwise I might fall asleep.
I love it. Yeah, don't forget to plug your show for the oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, I've forgotten her name. Your next show that you're doing, and yes. Tell everyone about it.
So tomorrow night, guys, for you, it will be 5 a.m. in the UK, but over where you are, it's about 8-9 o'clock. Check it out. I will be interviewing. It's the Maya Millette case, and I will be interviewing Mary Chris, the sister and the husband of Maya, sister and her husband of Maya. So that might be interesting. I would appreciate it if you've got any questions that you would be really interested to know. If we could ask Maya's sister these questions, please leave them. If you're on Facebook, I did put a post asking people to put any questions on there, or leave them in my comment section, and I'll have a look tomorrow and I'll go through them and I'll make a note of them, and we'll ask her what she thinks to some of these questions.
Brilliant.
Okay, then. Thank you, Kat. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate you.
As you are so special. Thank you so much for having me on.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody, for watching. We couldn't be here. There'd be no point in us being here if it wasn't for you guys watching. We really do appreciate all of you, all the members that I read out right at the very beginning. If you're not a member, and you want to become one, then just go onto the homepage and join. And remember the hoodies, if you haven't seen them.
Show us again, Emma.
The Crime Stories Obsessed. Can you see?
Yeah, we love it. We love it.
This is indigo. So you just need to go to the Bonfire shop, type in Crime Stories Obsessed, or go to the link which is under any of my videos. And if you want one for free, then just go on my community page, look for the conversation regarding the giveaway for the month, and put your name down, and you never know, you might win. Okay, well, thank you so much for being here. Thank you, Kat, for being here with me and helping me along.
Have a nice night, guys.
Thank you. Have a nice night and sleep well.
Take care, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.